Now, students, we are going to begin with the second chapter of Flamingo, that is The Lost Spring by Anis Jung. Anis Jung, born in 1944, is an Indian woman writer, journalist, and columnist for major newspapers in India and abroad. She was born at Hyderabad and received education in Hyderabad and in the United States. Her parents were renowned poets. She has written several books such as Unveiling India, Night of the New Moon, Seven Sisters, and Breaking the Silence. And in this chapter, Lost Spring, the author unveils the utter destitution of the rag pickers of Simapuri and the bangle makers of Firozabad. This story describes the grinding poverty and tradition that compels the children to live a life of exploitation. It is an extract from Anis Jung's book Lost Spring Stories of Stolen Childhood. In this excerpt, Anis expresses her concern over the exploitation of children in hazardous jobs like bangle making and rag picking. Abject poverty and thoughtless traditions, Anis argues, results in the loss of childlike innocence and much needed play and education. The result is backbreaking hard work, dismal working conditions, and acceptance of poverty and exploitation as destiny. There is a dire need to provide these poverty stricken people, particularly children, a life of dignity and opportunity to dare, dream, and do. So, this was the theme of the story. Now, I am going to give you the summary of the two parts of this chapter, Lost Spring. The first story of the chapter Lost Spring is about a rag picker named Sahib. Sahib, the son of a migrant family from Dhaka, is a rag picker who lives in Simapuri at the periphery of Delhi and goes about barefoot, rummaging around in the heaps of garbage to earn his livelihood. For children like Sahib, a heap of garbage is like a gold mine. Thousands of such children live with their families in Simapuri. They live in a slum with not even the basic amenities, such as water and sanitation, available to them. These families are living in utter poverty. The children have nothing to do except rag picking, through which they earn something to eat at least. Garbage to the elders is a means of survival. But for these children, it is a magical wonder in order to earn better. Sahib starts working at a tea stall where he is paid rupees 800 per month, but it seems he after this loses his carefreeness. He works for someone else and is no longer his own master. This loss of identity weighs heavily on his tender shoulders. Another story of this chapter is about a boy named Mukesh. Anis Jung tells about Mukesh who wants to be his own master. He is a boy from Firozabad's glass industry, and as a family tradition, he has always worked in a glass bangle factory. Here, the children work in close proximity of furnaces in such high temperatures that they are exposed to various health hazards, even losing their eyesight. Mukesh's family, like other families of Firozabad, are victims of poverty. His father is blind and they live in a small, self constructed house. These people of Firozabad are exploited by the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, and the bureaucrats, and also the politicians. But Mukesh is different and confident. He wants to be a motor mechanic. In the story, the author brings about the depravity of child labor. Childhood is considered as a spring of human life, full of joy, pleasure, and play. But ironically, millions of children like Sahib and Mukesh have lost their spring, that is, childhood, by getting engaged in making a living. So, I hope you all have understood the poem, understood the story